All right, cool. So what I've noticed is that obviously we have a lot of new people coming in and out. And so maybe this might be a great opportunity for us to see how to navigate pathways, particularly when you're ready to give a speech. I think one of the things that's hard is like, okay, how do I even do that? How do I find my evaluation form? How I do those things. And so hopefully this will be helpful. I know a few brothers have reached out to me and said they've had some frustration with pathways and how to navigate it. So go to share screen. All right. So step one, if you see it, we'll go to toastmasters.org. All right. And then main thing is to log in. So I'm gonna log in. So then one thing while it loads, because it takes a while, is this your main home screen, right? So on the main home screen, after you sign in, you can go to home, but you'll see everything, the date, time you remember, your actual Toastmasters number, all these resources, hubs, achievements. And if you're a club officer, we'll substitute, but like you'll have your club central where you can find out membership information if you're a district officer and the like. But for the point of this, the main thing as a normal member is the whole thing, all educational pathways is found in Basecamp. Now, let's say before we go to Basecamp, you want to know what program to even enroll in. And so I would say go to educational programs. It'll say right here, choose a path. And then it has an assessment, how to choose a path. Now I'm already enrolled in paths, so I wouldn't do this, but this is where you'll say, okay, I want to do educational, innovative planning, all that. So you need to pick a path. Every Toastmaster is given customary with their membership, one path or one curriculum per their starting the membership. And then for every additional curriculum is $20 that you have to pay. And so just do the free one first. So let's go back to the home. And then we'll go to called Basecamp. This is where you access or basically access your learning. And so I'm a member of two clubs. The reason why they show that is if you're doing education and, you know, like you're doing your paths, you pick the club that you want this educational path to get credit to. So like I've been doing a lot of like my speeches, but I've been giving credit out, even if I'm doing speeches outside of Toastmasters, I've been giving credit to Alpha so that we can get points as a club. So I'm gonna go to Alpha Toastmasters 1906. And so do y'all see my main Basecamp portal stuff? Y'all see it? Just a thumbs up?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Melissa. Today, I want to show you.
Okay, that's crazy. All right. So now when I'm enrolled, when I picked one, it'll say Paths and Learning. If I click on Paths and Learning, and it's a lot of things where you have to click and then go down or like struggle down. These are all the paths that I'm enrolled in, right? I can say active. These are the ones I completed. See, I completed a few, but active. And so you see all these ones, like these are the main ones. This one's like an extra build club. This sometimes they have like extra, but the main ones would be like this: dynamic leadership, effective coaching, persuasive, strategic relationships, team collaboration, and visionary communication. Those are real normal ones, but you'll just do one. So one thing is as you go, you'll say open curriculum. And then you'll see the different goals for each speech, right? So icebreaker is everyone's first speech, writing a speech with purpose. And ideally, you should go down in this order, right? Icebreaker, but there's nothing to stop you from jumping around and doing one of these other projects if you activate it, but it is highly suggested and makes the most sense to actually go through, not jump around. Like, it's almost, think of it as you get a training manual and you can do little mini projects out of order, but it's probably best to follow the order just cause. And so let's say level 1, you want to do your first speech, or you'll say activate. And then it'll say launch. Now, the thing is, it's a lot of double buttons. You got to pick the button twice, which is annoying. So I launched that, right? I activated it and I launched it. Now, most projects, for you to get credit, it's kind of weird. Like, you literally could just click, 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 and it gives you credit. There's no really checks and balances, which is kind of a flaw. But ideally, you want to be a person of integrity. You're not going to just like say you did something, you didn't do it. So let's say most of them will have a pre-assessment before, where you'll say, yes, I'm comfortable. Yes, I did it. Whatever, just all these, like, these are before your speech. I'm just doing 4s because I always do that. I don't know, just because I don't feel like I'm perfect. Submit. So make sure that you don't hit next, you hit like and so that's your pre-assessment. And then usually it has this, you see that, what do I need to give? Evaluation and resources. You see that tab right here? Evaluation resource. You see that's right here, resources. This is what you would download and give to your speech evaluator. You'll say, okay, I'm going to give this form to Philip. So let's say, Brother Green, you're doing your icebreaker speech. You would say, okay, your name, you would say, I would be your evaluator. You'd put your date, and then you'd put your speech title. Like, it doesn't have to be called icebreaker. It'd be like, get to know me. Who is Brother Green? Something like that. And then you do your speech, which has an outline, 4 to 6 minutes. And they're different. Some are 5 to 7 minutes. Some projects are like part 1, part 2. And then after you did that speech, when you're ready to get credit for it, you literally would just do the after assessment right here, which has the same thing, how you felt about it afterwards. I'm not going to do that because if I did that, it's going to assume that I finished or I did it. So you can always exit out, and it'll take you back to this and see, it'll say launch. It will only give you a little check if you actually did the after assessment, which a lot of people forget to do. They'll do the before, they'll download the evaluation form, but they'll never do that after. And so that it literally looks like this. But what a completed speech will look like, I'm just saying a completed one is after, if you did the after, let me try to find where I did it. Oh, fine. Like, if I did it, normally you'll see a little check like this, means it was done. Completed. Now, I did that one before, manage an online meeting. So I did that a long time ago, but you'll see a little completed. But that's because I did the after. Now, for integrity's sake, what I like to do is after I get my evaluations, I go to this home. I'm sorry, I gotta click. It's not just click on home. And what I do is say my documents, I'll actually be honorable and I will upload. As you can see, I upload. Once I get the evaluation form back, I will upload it just to really prove to myself that I actually did it. They've never done no audit. I'll be honest, they've never audited. They never checked. They never said, did you really do it? They never asked me to turn in all my speech evaluations. But I'm a person of like, better be safe than sorry. I don't know, one day they might do a sweep and say, did you really do all these speeches? But technically, if not, you could just click and say, yes, yes, done, 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 done. after assessment, after assessment, after assessment, and say that you completed it. I think the only time there's really a checks and balance is that if you complete a level, what it'll do is, like, let's say you complete a level 1, you won't be able to progress until the VP of E signs off on it. And that's a whole different training. And that's where the checks and balances is, to make sure that people are actually doing their speeches and actually getting their stuff done, because it sends a notification to the VPE to verify, like, did this person actually complete their level 1? This is person. So sometimes it puts a lot of ownership on the VPE to make sure that people are doing what's ethically right and actually doing their projects, rather than just clicking the button all the way through. So one way, because there's so many different ways to go about it, and I'll share this, one thing that I've done to help me keep me on track is I made an Excel, someone sent me an Excel spreadsheet, and where I keep track myself and map it out. When I did, the date I did this speech. This is not necessary. This is not even actually through Toastmasters. This is from someone that sent it to me, because they were very organized with their different paths. It helped me, because if you keep on clicking buttons, it can get confusing. So I would write out, it has all the topic areas. I put the speech, and I would tell the date I did it. And then I would say, who was my evaluator, especially, like I said, especially in times where I gave speeches outside of my club. So that helps me stay organized. The reason why they're yellow is that I did it, but sometimes people forget to give me their evaluation form back. And so I mark it green when I get the evaluation form back. But as I said earlier, I'm not really worried about being ethical. Like, I know I did this speech. I'll hunt them down for my evaluation form sometime. I have a blank one. Let me see. Excel. Oops. Let me do this. Pathways tracker. Yeah. And then here we go. Here's a blank one in case people want to use that for themselves. And so there you go. That's the pathways thing, so that you can see it. So I'll stop sharing, and then I'll open it up for questions. Good idea. I'll put that in the Google Drive as well. Excel. Yeah, I'll put that in there, called Pathways Tracker, for those to have access to it. But
Yeah, quick question, Brother Wilkerson, regarding the evaluation form. I think you already mentioned it to us. So let's say I have a speech on Tuesday, which is today. Would it, as far as the process, do you need that form probably that Friday before that Tuesday?
yeah, or no, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, at least just before the meeting. Yes.
Okay.
Agenda, when I say agenda, you want to help. So the Toastmaster today would supposed to know everyone's speeches, and they would point guard and say, okay, I know Brother Green's speaking, I know Brother Bowles is speaking, Brother Peters. Everyone send me your evaluations, and I'll make sure as the meeting facilitator to make sure that your evaluator has it. They literally get all the documents, but then sometimes in the meeting, no one gave them their documents, and you're seeing people at least share it with your evaluator in the chat or before the meeting or during the meeting, so that the person could say, because you'll print it out and say, the objective of Brother Green's speech is and it has the objective. His speech is 5 to 7 minutes, and it's on this. And then that's what, because your evaluator will announce you, and then you can go right into the meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good question. And so it's a lot of just paper, a lot of paperwork, tracking, and I'm going to do, as I was going to say as an announcement, I was going to do office hours every Wednesday. Did I say Wednesday? Yeah, every Wednesday.